Very unique with only one current floor plan. This is the Winnebago EKKO 22A. This is going to be what is considered generally a Class B plus motorhome, meaning it's kind of right in between like a Class B and a Class C. So, as you can see, taking a look at height, right? I have 6 foot 8 inches of head height, which is pretty darn good. It's a little over 7 foot wide and 23 foot long. There are a lot of things in here that I think they nailed. Things I personally think they did really, really well. There's some things I don't super love, but we're going to go through them and you let me know what you think. What do you like? What do you not like? And then we can get in a little bit further conversation. So let's start off kind of with this space right over here, right? So this is essentially going to be your main table space, your main spot to be able to sit and eat, have a meal. Obviously, you can have additional passengers here as well. Now, I think this makes a lot of sense if you get the optional pop top. You will see this one does not have it. We have the Max Air fan here. If you get the optional pop top, the entrance essentially is going to be right here, and that will get you up into a bed where you can sleep 2 more people, and then the 4 seats makes perfect sense to me. Otherwise, I don't super love this setup just because, you're kind of facing forward. Whoever's sitting here doesn't get a ton of table, not super great for meals. But, so I wish you could kind of reconfigure this. But again, I don't think it's going to be a deal breaker. Seatbelts here for any passengers. You can see the window system. The windows are going to be the same throughout. You have like a polypropylene window. And this, if you pull this down, you will have a screen. This will just snap into place. You pull this up, then you have like your nightshade, right? So a couple different options there. The thing I do like about it is the windows do all open all the way up. So if you want to undo all 4 locks, you can push it open. Obviously you have the screen there, but you can get some really nice cross ventilation. Also, this table does drop down just as you would expect to kind of drop down and get out of the way. You also have some really good storage, and I do like the colors, kind of like the green with the tan here. I think it's a really great color combo. You can see some storage up here. You have the thermal barrier for up front just to kind of help keep things a little bit toastier. And again, you kind of have some decent storage all the way throughout. There is another table. I actually have it stored in the back, but right over here is where that actually attaches. And the purpose of that is to when this chair, the passenger chair, spins around, but we'll get up to the cab a little bit later. I did just want to make you aware. So I'll get into the kitchen in just a moment, but one of the things I do want to point out is the door, because I really do like what they've done with the door. There's a few things here that I like. One, it feels a lot more heavy duty and robust than what you normally get. It feels, a little more akin to like a Class A diesel door where it's just heavy and chunky. I like the lock. Aaron, my camera guy here, and I were talking about it, and it's super simple but functional. The other thing I really like is that it has like your built-in like screen defender basically like on the bottom and the top here. So if you have dogs that are come with in, or little kiddos, they're not going to be pushing out the screen, falling out, damaging that. So I do enjoy that as well. You'll see a couple different things here as far as control panels. So, everything is kind of in one easy to see place. You can see generator on there, water pump, tank level, everything else, as well as a solar charge controller. This one actually has 3 solar panels up on the roof. So it does do a really good job there. Again, some more storage kind of over to the side here, right next to the microwave. And as we drop down into the kitchen, again, this is one of those things that just kind of eats at me, and that is the countertop. It looks fine, right? Like, I don't think it looks necessarily bad, but at this price point, I'm a little shocked that they went with a laminate countertop. I would have thought at the very least it would have been, like a thermoformed or a pressed countertop, or preferably it would have been a solid surface. I'm kind of shocked they went laminate. Again, not the end of the world. I think it looks fine. Just for me, I'm just afraid of longevity on that end. But again, let me know your thoughts if that's something that bugs you or if you think it's just fine. You'll also see that the faucet here does pull out, which is nice. So I think that is pretty helpful. Again, window behind there, not only is that letting a lot of natural light, but just like the other one, you can open that up. Recessed 2-burner cooktop with a glass cover, so you can kind of utilize all this as prep space. Again, they did everything good there. You had the electrical outlet over to the side. Drawer space, this one's going to be a little bit short because you're going to be contending with the sink as well as plumbing. This one down here you can see is a full size. And then right over to the side, open that guy up. And then again, you have some good storage space there as well as a filter. I do like that they built the filter in there for your drinking water. I think that was a pretty smart move. And then kind of rounding out the kitchen is going to be your fridge freezer combo. You can see the fridge right here, little drop down freezer compartment right up top. I think it was 5.3 cubic foot, I want to say. You know, again, nothing huge, but I think it'll do the trick. At least it gives you, you know, a place to have that cold storage. Kind of crossing back over, I did just want to touch on this. You do have some adjustable shelving here. It's probably going to be like your main pantry space right there. And then up top, you got this guy, which is going to be, you can use it to hang jackets if you want, or you can use it to hang towels. The reason I say that is the bathroom. Let's get into the bathroom, because this is probably one of the most unique setups I've seen in an RV to try to figure out a bathroom. So what we have here, I'll just step in. Well, I can kind of come around here and show you. So one of the things you have right down here is going to be your cassette toilet. Now this top does turn, so you can get a better angle to be able to use it. But you have a cassette style toilet there, obviously toilet paper holder behind you, electrical outlet. I don't know, in case you need to post up in here and stare at your phone all day or something. Or you have a window there. I mean, let's be honest, guys, it's for, you know, hair products and things like that, hair dryer. But you have the window there, as well as some additional storage right up top here. You know, again, that's pretty good for toilet paper, spray, everything else you have to have. Sink over to the side and a window there. But here is where it gets really cool, is that instead of making this like a full, complete wet bath, what they did is they have this system. And this, you just unsnap it. It snaps to the wall. You unsnap it. And then this slides over. And then you would snap it over on this side to hold it in place. But as you can see, now you have more of an actual shower setup. You have the curtain here to be able to close that off. And I think this is awesome. I think that is a great idea. You have the shower pan down below. That way everything over here kind of stays dry as it's intended to. So as I said, it's not quite a wet bath. It's not quite a dry bath. My cameraman, Aaron, likes to call it a moist bath. I don't like it. I kind of hate that. But either way, it's kind of like a hybrid in between. Making our way kind of up the steps here into the back. You see you have the Truma system for your heat as well as water heater. And then, of course, we have our thermostat for the AC there. And then we get into the bedroom itself. So let's talk about the bedroom a second. You have two twin beds on either side. Honestly, a lot more comfortable than you would think. You know, I generally don't say RV mattresses are decent. Most of them I don't really care for. It's one of those things that, you know, you probably, most people replace pretty quick, or at least get a topper or something on there. And I haven't slept on these overnight, so I can't say for sure, but I can tell you from sitting on them, they are very cushy. I'm pretty impressed by that. And underneath, they have the Froley system. So this kind of acts as like your bed springs, right? So it does kind of give that little bit more support underneath there. So it does have two different beds, which is really nice. But you'll see right in the center, it's kind of tough to see with the plastic on it, but this is kind of like a nightstand. You have cup holders here, just a place to put a few different items. It's hard, but if you want to make this into one big bed, you can do that. You can flip this over, drop this guy down and in. Let me step out here, and it'll sit just like that. And now you kind of have, you know, like I said, one larger bed in case you want to snuggle up at night. You'll also see a few other things up here. One, I like this. You have a spot to be able to plug in, you know, things at night, whether that's cell phones or if you have a CPAP machine. You see 12 volt here plus USB ports, your 110 over to the side, and they have a spot to be able to drag the cords down. So if you need to, you know, again, bring something down, you can do that. Some reading lights, additional storage up here over to the side. You can see that AC we talked about with vents, windows on both sides. I mean, even if you don't run the AC, you can open these windows up, get some awesome cross ventilation through here. There is TV hookup, so if you want a TV in the bedroom, you can do that too. And you have some additional storage kind of tucked away here. You can kind of see that over here as well. Those will be your cushions for the cab because the seats sit a little bit lower, so you do want to use those so you don't feel like a small little kid. I'll show you when we go up into the cab. Last thing I want to touch on here is just the fact that, of course, you have a privacy curtain, so you can close that off. Again, not that you're going to have any guests unless you get the optional sky bunk, but it's just always nice to be able to, I don't know, feel like a little more private space. Let's take a look at the cab. Starting right up top, the fact that this one has the optional entertainment center, which I think is great. So that way you can sit at the TV, you have the sound bar for better sound quality, and you have a great view to it with the seats right here that, you know, if you don't have additional passengers, it just lets you get that much more use out of. You'll also see that you have storage on both sides with the net, so it's nice and easy to access that. And you can see here, the seats do swivel around. And as I mentioned, this one does have a table, so that you can have the table here if you want to do some additional work. You know, it just really lets you kind of utilize this space a little bit better. You have plugins right up here too. So you can see that you have a standard 110 as well as USB ports and a 12-volt plug there. You also have another 12-volt plug right down here. So, again, some different options right next to the USB port there. You have 2 cup holders and nice big touchscreen display. What I do want to mention, if we go, I guess we already are at home. If we hit the apps here, you will see this one is Apple CarPlay and Android Auto ready. So you do have a couple different apps based upon the cellular device that you own. Okay, when it comes to the EKKO 22A, this one is built on with the all-wheel drive Ford Transit. Now, this chassis has nice, bright bi-xenon headlamps on there. It's also going to have a 3.5-liter EcoBoost with a 10-speed transmission. Coming back a little bit further, we can get into the main entry. You'll see that it does have power steps. And again, that door, as I said, right, just like a nice, big, beefy door. I mean, you can see how thick that is. And as we talked about earlier with the screen, already kind of has that, the screen protection built in. I really, really like the door. Something kind of so simple, but again, just a big piece of what makes the EKKO really nice. Kind of take a look up top. We have, they call it an armless awning, but it's more of a horizontal awning because it still has horizontal arms. But nice awning there with the LED light strip helps to brighten things up. Now, not only is the door itself really thick, but take a look at your baggage compartment doors. I mean, these things are thick doors all the way around. You also have a couple options here. Now, if you want, you can get this where it's just an empty space. This one, however, has the tailgater package built in. So with this one, we can pull this out. We essentially get a nice outside kitchen. So we have a 2-burner cooktop right here. This folds up and locks in for the sink. And then, whoops, we have, that was the wrong one. Let's try that again. Let's grab the right one. There we go. Open this up. This is going to be our outside cooler. Sink is right here, so that kind of pops in. You push this down, has a little drain built in right there. But this gives you that full outside kitchen setup here. I think this is great. You'll also see that you have your water hookup, by the way. Your outside shower with hot and cold water, so that way you can utilize it in the sink here. Then, of course, we have our electrical outlets right there. You'll also see here, you're going to have your TV hookup. So if you want an outside TV, that's where that'll hook up at. So you can just have like the full entertainment suite out here. You also see the Truma AquaGo. We talked about that briefly when we were inside. And I like these locks a lot too, right? The way again, just thick and heavy duty with that thick door. Really, really like that. The propane's a little bit different on this one. So a lot of times when you're looking at propane on a motorhome, you will have something that has to be refilled. So you have to take your motorhome somewhere. I kind of like the idea of having portable tanks you can exchange out. It makes it a lot easier if you're in a pinch on the road. Obviously, you can still take these to have them filled up. But, if you have to, I prefer not to exchange them just because the tanks usually aren't quite as nice as what you have. But if you have to exchange them out, you're in a pinch, you can do that. So that's, again, just going to be something that's a little more unique. You can also see a propane quick connect right here. So if you, want to hook up something else, you want to grill out, instead of having the 2-burner cooktop, you want like a Blackstone griddle, you can hook it up right there. It's a great spot for it. Coming around to the back, you have the heated garage, and this is an awesome compartment. I mean, you can fit so much stuff in here, and they did a great job by, again, not only having it heated, you have electrical outlets in here, so if you have like a toolkit, you need to charge batteries, you can do that. You have the track system along the top, so that you can kind of lock things in, right? Top and bottom here. You can lock things in, tie things down. You have the same thing on both doors on the sides. Really gives you just a lot of versatility, a lot of options. Probably one of the best storage systems on a Class C, Class B, or B plus like this one is. And you can see you have a few different access points to all that as well. The ladder here, so you can climb up onto the fully walkable roof. As I mentioned, you do have 3 solar panels up there. You can also see that this has a backup camera, so you're able to see when you come to the back. And this right here is going to be a clip for the optional Batwing awning, which we'll see in just a minute. I should probably hit on the fact you have the hitch on here. So if you need to, tow a vehicle behind you, which is what most people end up doing, or if you want to tow like a travel trailer or a boat, you can do that. You can get a converter from that 7-pin to like a flat 4 or 5, be able to tow a boat behind you. All those are great options. And speaking of options, this right here is another one, probably one of my favorites. As I mentioned, this is a Batwing awning. So what is a Batwing awning, you ask? Well, you unzip this, unroll it, and this whole thing wraps around all the way out here, comes around to the back and connects right there. So this whole space back here has additional awning coverage. That's probably one of my favorite options to put on here. I think it really just expands the campsite and what you're able to bring, kind of that usable space that you're able to have out here. You have a light right above your water station. I think that's excellent as well. You have the Nautilus system here, nice and easy for winterization. You have your drains all built in here as well. Again, everything is super simple, very well laid out. I think they did a great job there. 30 amp detachable power cord. You can see that. You also have solar on the side. So not only do you have the 3 panels up top, you have another one there. So again, just a little bit more solar. We talked about it when we were inside, but this one has a cassette toilet. So you can see that right there. So you can empty that guy out. I think it's 5 gallons that one holds as far as your waste tank that you can hold in there. And then this one has the generator. So it does come with a 2800 Cummins Onan generator standard. If you want, you can have that removed in place of a second lithium battery. You can see we have one there. If you want a second lithium battery, that generator does have to be removed. But again, that is an option. This is a really unique motorhome. Again, in that B+ segment, they've done a lot of things here I really like. Again, a few things I don't. Let me know what you do like, what you don't in the comments. And if you want to know where you can find one and how much it is, there will be a link in the description. Thanks for watching. I'm Ian Baker, and until next time, we'll see ya.